Straight to the moon, Bitcoin all the way.
Dollar vigilante, all up in your hearsay, dropping crypto knowledge, making the ladies go cray cray. Baby, I'm old school and you the new jack. I've been rocking long Bitcoin since a hey long way back track. 6 years ago, a friend of mine told me to say some Bitcoin rhymes, so I bought some Bitcoin around $3 that day. Now it's 2K on its way to 10K. Fuck you, Ben Bernanke. You two yelling, I see what you're selling. A debt-based Ponzi scheme, impoverishing like a felon. We see through your inflation, market manipulation. I pass hold your fiat script when I'm done ejaculating.
All the way out. It's all the way out. It's all the way out. Straight to the moon, Bitcoin all the way out.
The question we now have to ask is if technologically it is possible to make an impenetrable device or system where the encryption is so strong that there's no key, there's no door at all, then what mechanisms do we have available to even do simple things like tax enforcement? Because
it's all the way out. It's all the way out. It's all the way out. All the way out. Straight to the moon, Bitcoin all the way out.
if in fact you can't crack that at all, government can't get in, then everybody's walking around with a Swiss bank account in their pocket.
Minding my own on my BTC. Rhymes with the homie, that's TDV. Got that LTC and that ETH. Watch me wreck this beat while we eat their cake. Can't block this chain, best in crypto stash. Yeah, we got big gains, that's that crypto cash. Politicians hate it, bankers wish they made it. We could starve the beast, stop the war machine maybe. Tried to call us crazy, very ineffectual. Fuck you, pay me, lazy intellectuals. Haha. Yeah, we're laughing at these banks. Swiss accounts for all, no taxes for the state. Yeah.
It's all the way out. It's all the way out. It's all the way out. All the way out. Straight to the moon, Bitcoin all the way out.
Peter Schiff, rest in peace. Shout out Comanche's Beats. Free nuts. My homeboy Ed Bugos. And all my ANCAP crew worldwide.
What's up, guys? I'm just waiting for everybody to come in. It's still early. Let's take you guys to the Bitcoin chart up for now. As you can see, that fan has been haunting Bitcoin.
Who made that fire Bitcoin track?
I don't know. I found it on YouTube, actually.
That was lit, dude.
Yeah, the first time I heard it, I thought it was pretty funny. Like, pretty
Yeah.
funny. And you know what? And after I heard that, I like just looked up like Bitcoin rap music, and there's a ton of rap music
Really?
about crypto, and I was like in shock.
I'm with it.
Yeah,
All
like
for it.
why not? You
You
know?
know, extra promotion.
That's great, man. That's definitely great.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. Figured I'd get in here early. Try to get guys in here a little early. Maybe people feel more comfortable if they see other guys want to come learn.
Yeah, makes sense.
You
Makes
know.
sense. So, I haven't been paying attention real closely lately, but what exactly has been making the huge drops in Bitcoin?
Uncertainty, profit taking. Yeah, there's a few things.
You know anything about what caused like Litecoin and Ethereum to jump so much as well?
Yeah, Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's all tied back to that.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the cryptocurrency mother, you know.
Hmm.
So I mean, if you see Bitcoin running, it builds confidence in these other alternative coins, and Coinbase only provides all three, and Coinbase is actually the number one app in the iPhone store, in the App Store. So you got everybody downloading Coinbase, and if they see the three and they're like, oh, you know what? Bitcoin's like 16K. How about I get this coin that's $100? Maybe it'll be the next Bitcoin. You know?
Yeah, yeah. How so I've been so with the people that I've been talking to that have just been starting to get into it, it seems like a growing trend would be is that like a lot of the more new consumers want whole coins. Do you think that that's gonna, be part of what pushes people away from Bitcoin? Because right now we're talking like a lot of people that want to start dabbling in it have these tiny fractions of a
I
coin.
know a lot of older people, like my father's generation and family members, and a lot of people that I talk to that are older, they don't even know that you can buy a fraction.
Really?
Yes.
Holy.
And also, I have a few people, and like, 50, 60 years old, they call their broker, and their brokers tell them, oh no, you can't even sell Bitcoin if you buy it. Like, this is literally from their broker
Jeez.
saying stuff like that, you know? Then I
Uh-huh.
have this lady at my bank. She's like 50, 40 years old, and she's asking me tons of questions. And she didn't know that you can buy a fraction. She didn't know anything about it. Then she's asking me, oh, what about Ripple? Like, that's like the newcomer buys Ripple all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it just screws everybody over at the end of the day. But, like, there's people that don't, like, if you're in the stock market, you never heard of you buying a portion of a share.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you looked at Amazon and you want the shares, you're like, oh my God, it's too expensive to me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy 5% of a single share.
Right, right. But when it comes to Bitcoin, they don't understand that that small percentage can
Hmm.
become, like, you could double it, triple it, it could keep going, you know.
Do you think that's part of the reason why like so many of these quote unquote professional like market analysts have been like so hard on cryptocurrency come ups because they just don't understand the new market yet and it's like new.
I think they have their own agenda behind what they
Hmm.
do. You like there's plenty of people that talk down about it, and then a week later, it's up
Are
40.
buying it and then
Right,
yeah.
they're already in and they want it cheaper. You never know what these guys want. Like, that's
Hmm.
why, like, mass media, like, I can't. I I
Yeah, yeah.
I go put on CNBC to see what they're saying to the masses, and when I hear half the shit they say, like, they don't give you the information, bro.
Yeah.
They make it sound so scammy, and it's just like it's ridiculous with some of the comments they have. Like, one guy's like, "Oh, outlaw it, do this, do." It's
Oh
just,
yeah, I've seen that.
and
It's like scary as
I'm like,
shit.
come on, man. Like, you don't want the average Joe to be able to have a chance. Is that the problem?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah, I
ridiculous.
saw like the comment about like, what do you want this packaged as? Fighting drugs and or protecting the kids.
Yeah, it's
It's
sick. It's sick. What they'll pull any trick they can out of their hat, and they're running out of tricks to pull.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point, when there ain't anything else for them to come up with, it's over for them, talking down about it, because the proof is in the pudding. Look at the price.
Mm-hmm.
You can't talk down about the price.
Yeah. It's been doing just incredible things.
Yeah. Like, it's different when you could talk down about something and you see the results of what they were talking about. But,
Mm.
I mean, this doesn't resemble anything that they're saying.
Yeah, like crypto is one of the most astonishing markets in
Yeah.
recent history.
Yeah.
It's the black swan. I think Gang Affiliated was talking about that, or was it?
Gang was
I think it
talking
was
about,
Gang.
like, black swans and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Steelers just scored.
Steelers score?
I'll give updates throughout the evening.
we gonna have a Steelers bot for that too.
I can do that.
Yeah, it needs to be done, dude. Live. It's like
I can do that.
Make that happen, son. Make it happen.
Okay. So. Educational channel. So someone asked, what are your answers to the argument that Bitcoin is too volatile to be used as an actual currency? I think, me personally, I think Bitcoin is a store of value. So until Bitcoin sits at a stagnant price like gold would, I don't see it being used as an everyday currency. I think all alternative coins can be used as an everyday currency more than Bitcoin can. But that's my personal opinion.
Check DM.
Yeah, he's talking about the conversation. Like
Okay.
like what the mass media says Bitcoin's used for. I'm gonna wait like 5 or 10 minutes, let everybody pile in here, and then we'll get started.
Mm-hmm.
See that fan, man. Candle still has not closed at that fan. Got denied at the top Bollinger Band on 5 minute. Thoughts on Electronium? Exter, I personally do not trade altcoins at the moment. I am only trading Bitcoin as of right now. Now, one of our top guys for altcoins and to talk to about altcoins and all the information about altcoins is our guy Spectra. That's his thing right there.
Scalp King.
Yes, Spectra, the Scalp King, is your altcoin guy. There's also a few other guys that are really good with the fundamentals of those altcoins. I personally do not trade fundamentals. Yes, Cam Jams, just BitMEX. What's this live gonna be about? Okay, so yeah, so this is pretty much what this live is gonna be about. Okay. Thoughts on mini apps, ICOs. I'm not up to date with ICOs. I don't pay attention to a lot of ICOs, and unless it's like an eye popper like Crypto 20. That was the nicest ICO I've seen other than Salt Lending.
You doing Join Me?
No join me, just Twitch.
All right, Twitch has about a 30-second runoff.
Okay, so if you guys want to be live on what I'm saying, oh, so then maybe voice and the video are going to be a little delayed from each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. What do you say, about 5 more minutes?
I'd say go for it.
Yeah? Yeah, I guess the other guys could watch the recording. Alright, so this is Smart Money from Allegiant Trading. I'd like to welcome everybody that's here, and to be honest, if I see you here, that means you're hungry, you're determined, you're dedicated to learn, and that is a beautiful start. Today we will be getting into particular patterns, trend recognition. Actually, let me pull this up like this. Okay. Trend recognition. We will be teaching indicators. What else we got here? Price action, volume, and I use TradingView for all my charts. Some of the things we'll also be looking at are flat top breakouts, wedges, break of a downtrend, 9 and 13 EMA, cross, bullish or bearish, Bollinger Bands, and a high-speed res fan. Those are just a few things. Okay. So now the indicators that I mainly use is the EMA 200, which would be your strong support or your strong resistance. The larger the time frame, the stronger the support or the stronger the resistance. I'm also going to be doing the Bollinger Bands, which is your price action range. So within the Bollinger Bands, your top band and your lower band is the range that your price action should be trading in. Same thing as the 200 EMA. Depending on the time frame, it will show you in that amount of time what the price range should be. It's also similar to TTM squeeze, if anybody knows what that is, when it comes to built up energy and the release of energy. Now, the 9 and 13 EMA cross, when those two EMAs cross, it could be a bullish signal or a bearish move. Okay, so this is a BTC chart. As you can see, this was when Bitcoin was around 4,800. Now, I just want to show you what color my indicators are so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Right here, this green indicator is the 200 EMA. Okay, this lower and upper is my Bollinger Bands. This little thin line here is your middle band, which is your 20. Okay. Also, you have your 9 and your 13. The gold here is your 9, and this is your 13, the blue. So I just want to make sure everybody understands what I have here. Now, this blue little wave you see here is average volume. Now, if anybody's wondering what this is called the Ichimoku cloud. I personally do not use this anymore, but a lot of people do. So sometimes it's good to, you could shut off your indicators right here, but sometimes it's good to turn it on and be like, well, why did it bounce there? If you don't have anything to see why it bounced in a certain area, if you turn it on, sometimes that's the reason why it bounced or got denied. When it's green, this is bullish. When it's red, this is bearish. Okay, so before I go any further, I want to make sure everybody's up to date. Is there any questions?
Nobody can see what you're doing live on Twitch because Twitch is delayed, like I was saying. So while you're going over this, nobody has a visual whatsoever.
They don't have a visual because it's delayed.
No. Yeah. That's why we were using Join Me.
All right, so then I guess maybe everybody should go into the Twitch voice. Is that okay? Or am I delayed?
Your video is delayed on Twitch.
Okay. So nobody's seen that.
Yeah, I can hear you talking on Twitch, and it's like solid 10 seconds behind.
Even on Twitch is 10 seconds behind?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, even if I repeat it, you're still not going to see what I'm doing. All right. Maybe I should close a few things on my computer. All right. Sorry, guys. Okay. You see me now on the 200 EMA with a red laser.
No.
No.
I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'll wait 10 seconds for everything I show. All right. Well, this solid green line is your 200 EMA. Here. Okay?
Yeah.
This lower
we can see
line,
that.
this lower line is your lower Bollinger Band. This is the lowest your price range should go. Is in this Bollinger Band. Okay?
Hang on. Yeah, it's super delayed still. Yeah. On mine, you're still going over the 200. Now you just went up to the Bollinger.
I highly suggest just signing in to Join Me real quick, dude.
I'm about to.
Either that or just do it on Twitch. Just do the audio on Twitch. Because Twitch audio is synchronized with Twitch video.
Yeah.
Twitch audio.
But the audio from Discord is earlier.
Okay. Alrighty. I don't know how that's gonna work though. So
I mean, yeah, or you could just try Join Me,
probably gotta make.
and do the audio through here. I mean, it's still delayed, but not as bad.
All right.
I usually just use Join Me for the video feed and mute it so that they can't hear me through Twitch.
All right. So let me freaking.
Yeah, Join Me worked really well last week.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you can also record video through Join Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, probably gonna have to make a new Join Me.
Yeah, you probably do if you don't pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay.
All right.
All right. Watch Bitcoin for 5 minutes. Sorry, I didn't think Twitch would be so delayed. It's for like gamers, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, if you're doing Twitch, if you do the audio and the video through Twitch, it's synchronized. But if you're doing audio through here, it's going to be delayed.
All right, so then I guess everybody could hear me on Twitch then, no?
Yeah, audio's on Twitch.
Yeah, it's synchronized with the video on Twitch.
So then you should be good, no? If you listen just through Twitch. Am I wrong?
No, that should work.
That should work, right? If you just listen on Twitch.
Yeah.
All right, so then mute your Discords and just listen on Twitch. If there's a delay, then I will do the Join Me.
You got it.
All right. Now, back to what we were saying. Everybody on Twitch? Well, then I can't hear you guys. That's the issue. Well, you just could leave your mics on, I guess. I don't know. You can't.
Yeah. How about if you have questions, post it up in the Twitch chat.
Right, and just
and then at the end we'll all jump back into this Discord.
exactly. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so solid green line is your 200 EMA. Lower red, upper red is your Bollinger Bands. The middle band is this line right here. It's hard to see everywhere else. See, it's right here. Okay, these are your EMAs. This is your 9, this is your 13. This is what you call an Ichimoku cloud. I do not use this anymore. A lot of people do, so I have it. So if I have to look at it, when it is green, this is bullish. When it's red, this is bearish. When it is above the cloud, this is extremely bullish, as you can see. Extremely. Now the blue little cloud you got going on over here is your average volume. Now each time frame has different average volume, obviously. What else do we have here? That is about it that I want to show you. Give me 1 second. I have to open this back up. Okay. So now let's get to our next. Anyone have any questions on this? If so, unmute yourself on Discord. Or you can type and somebody will let me know about it. Okay, Discord boys, can you explain the purpose of each of these? I'm going to explain that throughout the slides. This is just so that you understand what I'm talking about, like which line is what color and what is what. Okay? Anything else? Alright, so we're going to move on. Okay, so now this is the break of a downtrend and a falling wedge. In this one chart alone, you can see multiple things are happening. The bottom wicks of these candles here, as you can see, they're everywhere. The bottoms of these candles with these large wicks is showing a significant amount of buying pressure. Okay, now this upper trend line is your resistance in the wedge, and this lower trend line is your support in the wedge. Now a lot of people draw off of the wicks. I personally do not draw off of the wicks. I only draw off the bodies because I strongly believe if it wicked, then it clearly did not belong there. So I like to draw only off the bodies. If you wanted to just see where the price action could possibly go, you could have drawn off the bodies and then drawn a secondary line on just the wicks also. So that way you get an idea of both. Okay. So you can also see that this is a downtrend here. Now, when you break this resistance line, look at the volume that came in to break this resistance line, broke, and it continued to run up. Also, as you can see, with the price range, the price dropped below the lower Bollinger Band. It did not belong outside of the price range, came directly back into the Bollinger Bands, and look what stopped the price from continue pushing here, the upper Bollinger Band. Okay, so when it breaks this downtrend, this is a bullish move. This right here is a clear buy signal. And as you can see, once it broke this downtrend, it never looked back. It just kept running. Okay, so does anybody have questions about this? No questions? Okay, let me just check the Discord classroom. Can't see your cursor on Twitch. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, so I'm going to move on. Next. This is what we call a flat top breakout. Flat top breakout, meanwhile, because the reason why is the top flat top breakout. So this is your resistance level here. Okay? you have a significant amount of candles that have became resistance. Over 3 candles that hit the same exact trend line show strength of a trend line. Here you have 1, 2, 3. It just keeps going here, right? Now you take your lower trend line and you try to touch as many bodies as you can, as you see. And then once this broke this right here, it ran. And look at all the buy pressure on all these candles. These are clear indicators that people are buying this price here up. This thing is bound to go. And it breaks out and runs. And as you can see, once again, the price does not belong outside of the Bollinger Band. Every time it came outside the Bollinger Band, right back in the Bollinger Band, and the Bollinger Band, it walked up the upper band. See? Does anybody have a question about flat top breakouts? Let me check Discord. Okay, you don't see it. You see the cursor now? MD. After these breakouts, do they always go on a big run? A lot of the time, it depends on the time frame of the breakout, and it also depends on how long was it consolidating like this. How long were people accumulating? So when it was like this, I think these were about 4-hour candles or so. So this is a long time. This is over a day. So it built up all over a day, and when it finally broke, it was gone. It was gone. Also, this is Bitcoin, so usually when Bitcoin breaks out, it really, really, really breaks out. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, cursor is good. I apologize. And I was talking about the upper band right here, how I was walking up the upper band. Once it broke here, gone. By the way, just to show you, this is a 9 and 13 cross bullish. 9 crossing the 13, right? Second this thing crossed, look at this. Boom, gone, never looked back. Second that 9-13 crossed. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, now I'm going to go over the 9, the 13, and the Bollinger Bands. Okay, so the 9 EMA is the solid gold line, and the 13 EMA is the solid blue line. You can see here that when the 9 EMA is above the 13, it is a very bullish move. See? Second it crosses here, bullish, runs. Right? Now, when the 9 is below the 13, that is a bearish move. And you can see that here. We are bullish here. Once this 9 comes below that 13, downtrend. Downtrend, right? And then once this starts curling up, and it finally gets confirmation of a cross, gone. Right? And I also want to show you here, this is the 200 EMA you have, right? This is your support. As you can see, it bounced several times here. Here, here, and here. Broke the 200, and then the second it broke above the 200, showing strength, especially within these solid green candles, showing strength, it ran. So this is a solid buy indicator here. Solid. You would want to see more than one candle close above the 200 EMA. Same thing for the 9-13 cross. You want confirmation. You don't want to just jump into a trade. Okay? So now with the Bollinger Bands, this lower Bollinger Band, it came out of price action, came back to reality right here, and it's back in. Jumped out of price action, does not belong here. It's got to come back to reality. That's what I call it, coming back to reality. Comes right back into the Bollinger Band. See how it doesn't belong up here? You see the wicks on the top? See how it jumped out of the Bollinger Band this much. Look what happened in this same candle. Came here, got to come back to reality. Right down. And it stays back in its bands. So also, price action tends to usually, on a regular move, not when it pops like this, up here, stays with the EMAs. Price action usually always stays next to the EMAs. And when it doesn't stay next to the EMAs, like here, you see it comes right back to the EMAs. See? Right back. It usually never leaves the 9 and the 13. Ever. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, so let's go to volume. So right here is your volume. Right? These are buying volume, selling volume. Yes, exponential moving average. Let's get into questions. I'm sorry. What exactly does that mean? Like, I'm full-blown beginner. Okay. Bollinger Bands standard deviation from the middle. Okay. So, for the Bollinger Bands, it's a standard deviation from the middle band, the 20 SMA, based on previous 20 periods. Now, you have the 9 and the 13, which would be your 9 period and your 13 period. It's just an average of the price for that amount of time. Thank you, MD. Any other questions before we start volume? Okay. So, this is the average volume, the blue line, right? Now, if you notice, right here was accumulating. No volume here. See the tight price range, tight price range? Once you've seen this above average volume spike, you have a clear indication something is going on here. There's larger buys than there usually is. See these? And look what happens with that large volume. It runs. Now look what happens when the volume dies out. Comes down. Here was a fight for a candle on the volume. This is why you see this much volume here. Tons of sell pressure on here, but there was tons of buying going on trying to keep it alive. Okay? As you can see here in this left corner, this was an indication that we were running. Look at all this volume that came in. These are all these buyers loading up for a run. And they continue to load up here, and then it runs. So when it's above this blue line, this blue wave here, that is above average volume. That is clear that you need to pay attention to what is going on at the moment. Because when there's more volume than there averagely is, that means something is about to happen. Okay, is there any questions on the volume side? Okay. I also want to get into things being significant and not being significant. Okay? So, you see this spike here on this candle? There was no volume on the candle. This is an insignificant candle. So when this happens, no volume, look what happens after. It comes right down. Okay? You want to look for significant candles, and you want to see what candles you should be ignoring. The candles you should be paying attention to the most are the candles with large volume. Okay. Why did the price drop there, even though there was an equal amount of buys and sells? Okay. I don't know exactly which candle you're talking about. I'm assuming. Can't help you. I don't know the candle. Alright. So we went over your 200 EMA. This is just a clear indicator here. As we said, the 200 EMA is your support and your resistance. Now, this whole entire time on this chart here, it's fighting this 200 EMA for support and for resistance. Here, it broke the 200 EMA on an upward trend. So this is extremely bullish. As you can see, it ran, profit taking went on, pulled back, and bounced directly off the 200 EMA. Continue to run, and these candles here was a clear indication to start selling. And as you can see, it broke below. This is called a failed upward thrust, okay, right here. And on this candle, there's just all wick, which is selling pressure. And after that failed upward thrust, it took a large drop down. Finally bottomed out and found a base here. Once it broke this 200 EMA again, it took a huge run. That 200 EMA on your time frames is gold. Pure gold. I'm going to go over all these candles I'm showing you on a live chart after all this. So if you can't see what I'm doing now, I'm going to show you again. Any questions on this? No questions? Okay. Now this is what you call a high-speed res fan. This can find your future resistance and your future support. Okay? The downward lines represent your resistance levels. The upward lines represent your support levels. This is the same thing as fib lines, basically, but this can project further into the future than your fibs can. This thing works amazing, and I strongly suggest you using this. Okay? And for support, you start from your lowest line to your highest. At the time, this was around the highest, and I drew off the bodies. You can also draw off the wicks. Okay? And then for your resistance, you draw from your top to your lowest, which is down here. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you how this thing is amazing. So when you have this on, let's say you had this on and I drew it here, right? That was the high. Look how many times it bounces off the lines. Bounces here, it wicks here, this whole entire time, right? And if you go into the past, it bounced here, it bounced here, it bounced here. Okay? It's perfect. And then when it broke the support level that it kept bouncing off of here, it took a huge drop. And as you can see here, it bounced off of one of the fan lines. Now, if you break a support, that support line becomes your resistance. If you break above a resistance, that resistance line now becomes your support level. So as you can see multiple times on this fan right here, it bounced, what, 1, 2, 3, about 4 times here. Bounced directly off the fan. And I'm also going to show you how it worked for showing resistance levels. Okay. Denied at the fan. Denied at the fan, right? Constantly denied right here. It's just money. Denied again at the fan. Bounced off the fan. It's just, this is so good for you to try to give you a good idea of where your price action could either bounce off of or end up hitting a wall. So if you have this drawn later in the future, you know, a week or 5 hours from now or an hour from now, these lines are still in play. They stay, and you can see how the price action continues to bounce. And look at the range, how it trades within the fans. It stays in the range the whole entire time. Stays in the range. See? The price action stays within everything here. So, is there any questions on the high-speed res fan? And yes, that's the other thing. The larger the time frame, I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. The larger the time frames, the larger these things matter. So this high-speed res fan, when you open it up on a 4-hour and a daily, those are showing you the strongest supports and the strongest resistance. When you open up a 1-minute chart with the fan open, they are not as strong as what a 4-hour, an hourly, and a daily are. Okay, so sorry, just signed in some Twitch account. Someone listening can't say in the chat. Jordan, this is going to be recorded. This is recorded, so once the video is done, you can see in the beginning of the video, it lists everything that I am talking about. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So there's no other questions about high-speed res fan. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this is identifying patterns, all right? This is very, very important. This is actually a pattern that just played out on Thursday that also occurred on November 29th. And I'm going to show you a live chart that plays out the rest of this right side literally to this left side, okay? So with Bitcoin, there is always repeated patterns. When you are looking, when you're trading Bitcoin, you want to find every advantage you possibly can. These indicators, these fib fans, Fibonacci, all this stuff is going to help you make a better trade. And when I'm trading, I am looking for repeated patterns. Because if I could get in a trade before the rest of the pattern is even done, well, I'm going to ride the whole pattern out if it's bullish. And if I want to short it, I can ride the whole pattern out if it's bearish. So it's very, very important to do that. So on the left, this is November 29th, right? Does this look familiar? And this was Thursday. Okay, what was Thursday? 7th or something like that. So as you can see, tops out and it makes this pattern here, right? Look at this pattern play out, okay? Now, ain't that funny? Looks real familiar to me, you know? See this red candle? Look at this red candle. That looks the same to me. See this top? Look at this top. That looks the same to me. See here? See here? Now, don't get me wrong. Is it going to be exactly identically the same? Absolutely not. But you will have the best idea than people that have no idea of the pattern, that never seen the pattern or caught the pattern. So you can see this clear as day what was going to happen. Now let me open this and I'm going to show it to you live. This is the rest of the pattern. See, remember the top here? Okay? Played out lovely. Lovely. Same thing. Remember the downtrend, right? Lovely. Same thing. I'll show you this red candle on the fib so you can see how the rest of it played out. Red candles on the fib here, right here. I showed you this part up to here. And the rest of the downtrend happened. And I'll show you the rest of the downtrend. Here's the rest of your downtrend. And then guess what happened? It popped, right? Okay, that's fine. Let's show you that. See? This is what's important about identifying patterns. And if you go to the 5-minute, you'll see a lot of cups that happen. Constantly. It's constant. See? This is an upward pattern. This is a bullish pattern all the time. Cup, cup, cup. And then when it goes the other way, you see the upside down U's. It's all day long. I can show you patterns literally all day from here. See? Same move. So this is so important to me. I can literally see the future. Like I stopped going long on Bitcoin on Thursday. I closed my position practically up here. I caught this pattern, and I was out. I caught down here. Sold here. Gone. And then I hopped in a trade yesterday on the breakout. And I woke up this morning, and we were good to go. Any questions? No questions? Okay. Show the breakout on the break of the downtrend. Okay. So let's go to the breakout of the break of the downtrend, like MZ's saying. This is an hourly chart. Let me hide some stuff so it's easier for you guys to see. What else should I hide? Oh. Okay. Now, this is an hourly chart drawn off of tops that mattered. This gets ignored. Did not belong here. I want to try to hit as many tops as I possibly can on the chart. See? Now, look at the significance here, right? This is amazing. Bounces off the bottom of the lower band. The 9 and the 13 cross. It breaks the 200. Look at the volume that starts pouring in, right? Breaks the trend line, the resistance level, the downtrend. Look at the volume. Confirms that it's broken. Now look at the volume that comes in. Flooded. And rides the upper band the whole way through. It's just perfect. And guess what? This is a fib fan, right? That I showed you. I showed you the resistance fans. Guess where it got denied here? Guess where it got denied here? This, if it holds, if this holds for a few hours, pure strength that it broke this fan that it kept getting denied at. You understand? Now, this is clockwork here. Now, you can see how it came below the 200. Once you look at this candle on its own. See this candle right here? This is strength. This is a clear indicator we're not going nowhere but up. We are not going down. This is a failed move by the bears. And now, this is our price. These indicators, this price action, this volume is money. Okay? Resistance levels, support levels, breaks of downtrends. This is money. Is there any questions? No questions? All right, so we're going to move on to the next slide. All right, so now I'm going to show you accumulation. Now, this is also a part of identifying patterns. This is a pattern. Accumulation is a pattern, and this is something very important to know when it's happening. This means big money is loading up. Loading up. Right here in this range. See how it's just trading purely sideways. Also, the Bollinger Bands are extremely tight. When the Bollinger Bands are extremely tight, that means it is built up energy. And at some point when those bands open, it is going to make a tremendous move. Whether it's up or whether it's down, it is going to be a very, very large move. It is not going to be a small move when those bands open. It never, ever is. Very rare if it is, and if it is, it's either a bear trap or a bull trap. Okay. Now, see how this trades like this sideways? Builds up. Look how tight those bands get. Gets a little pop right here, right? Now we start trading sideways again. Now we got this built up energy again. A little drop, bounces off the 200 EMA. Strong buy signal, bounced and never looked back here. See? Look how tight this gets here. This is your accumulating zone. Boom. Run. Builds up again. Bands get so tight, it needs to release. It cannot stay like this. It needs to release that energy. Look what happens. Runs. You understand? You got, obviously, your profit taking. That's going to happen. Again, we come to the 200 EMA. A little failed move. We bounce. We run. And now we're back into the accumulating zone. This is a little larger of a zone, but it's still, they are accumulating. After they accumulate and they load up, gone. Also, take a look at how low the volume is while they accumulate. This is important. Very important. And then every time there's a little minor pop, the volume is there to show it. See? Look how when it's accumulating time, see these candles down here? Look at this right here. Now I'm going to show that live. I'm going to show you live because I know that might be a little hard to see. Okay. Yes, I'm going to show, can you show setting, let me do these questions. Can you show setting up the fan on some other indicators, maybe from scratch, now or later? Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it live. Let's go into that. All right. So let's go on a hourly. No, 4 hour. Okay. So, oh my God, my chart's got so much stuff going on. All right. I'm going to just take this small time frame right here, okay? So, to put the fans on, you are going to click here, all right? You're going to go to fib speed resistance, okay? And you are going to go, for your resistance, you're going to go from your high to your low. And it would be like this. That's how you would do it. Okay. As you can see, it was denied at this fan 3 times. Broke the fan, and now we're up here. Look at this fan that it bounced off of. See? And then you, to do your support level, I would take my support from before the run happened. So I would start like right here in this low zone and draw it on my high. And then you'd be here. You can see the strength of the support and the resistance. Now let me get rid of that. As you see this fan on the hourly, it's money, man. Denied here. This is a stronger support and resistance level. Okay. So, sorry. Okay, MD, you got them. Okay. Now, everybody understand the high-speed res fans and how accumulating works? I'm going to show you another accumulating zone, which is right here. Let me get this out of the way. This is accumulating right in this level. See the volume? Pure accumulating. Now this is when stuff starts getting busy. And this is a clear indication something crazy is about to go down. And something crazy did go down. We broke all-time highs, practically almost hitting 20K. So that's a great indicator. And Bitcoin likes to take usually 2 steps. And I'm going to show you that. Usually takes 2 steps when it starts accumulating. It's easier for me to show you that on a 5-minute or an hourly. The hourly is where the 2-step is. Okay. first step of accumulating, right? Gets a little pop. Now we start trading with a little leg up. Then we accumulate again. And on the second accumulation, this is what happens. Boom. I'll show you that again. This is identifying patterns. To identify a pattern is the most important. Now, here. 2 legs. Accumulating zone. Little pop. On our second accumulating zone, look at the run that comes. Yes, there was a big hit here. This is November 29th, the pattern I was showing you earlier, by the way. So that's how that works. It's just, and here it is again. 2 levels. Accumulating zone, pop. Accumulating zone again, all-time high at the time. It's money, guys. To identify patterns is money. You are saving yourself the stress. And look what happens when you break a fib fan. See that? When you break a fan, you get moves like this. Pushing on the upper band on the hourly. Is there any questions? Okay, so no questions. Now, I am going to get into the next slide then, if there is no questions. All right. Now, we went over buying and selling pressure, but this is just such a clear slide that I came with that you really get to see it here the most. All right. Now, this is your buying and selling pressure. See these top wicks? That means they are going to drive this price down. Look at this. Red candle after red candle. This is a deny for this thing to pop. This candle right here did not belong to happen. This is a false move. As you can see, look at the pressure here. Now you see some buying pressure going on, but it's still getting denied. And you see the downtrend continue. So, and now you start seeing some buying pressure because it's out of its bands, moves up a little, and this is all the selling pressure going on. So that's when you see a lot of buying pressure, a lot of selling pressure. These wicks can tell you a lot about something. And then when you look at these wicks, you also want to look at the volume. You want to look at where it is. Is it because it's out of its band? Is that why people are buying this up? Because they know the price does not belong there. This was clear that it don't belong here. They bought it up and it stood in its bands and it never looked back from this area right here. So that is money. Okay. Any questions on this? Let's get into the next slide then. All right, next slide is Fibonacci. Okay? For Fibonacci, these are your strongest supports and resistance. This can show you your future support, your future resistance. It is amazing how it works. This is another golden ticket to help you trading. And this can help you realize, well, why did it get denied there? Or why did it bounce there? There's beautiful reasons for that. And it's this. So, as you can see, this is an hourly chart. You draw from your top to your bottoms. See? For some reason, TradingView has it drawn. You draw it only one way. I really think you should have it from your bottom to your top, but just so I have the proper prices, I do it from my top to my bottom. Otherwise, it doesn't come out right, and I don't know why it does that. Okay, so a lot of people play this retracement right here, the 0.618. Usually, when it comes to 0.618, it bounces. Usually, all the time, absolutely not. But that's why you have price action. And as you can see, when it did come to 0.618, it bounced and kept going. It did not stay at this price. It got bought up, and as you can see, how do you see that? The wicks show you this does not belong here at all. Does not belong here. And here you can see this was resistance for how many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. It broke its resistance level and ran. See? Pure strength went on. Now I'm going to show you that on a live chart too. I like bringing it back to a live chart just to show you how real this stuff is, man. Now these are Fibonacci levels that I have drawn. These crazy colored ones. Got denied at this fib. How many times? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. 10 times. When it broke it, look at the strength it shows. Look at the volume that comes in when it breaks. This is an hourly chart. Okay? And you can also see how when it comes to a fib, it bounces off the fib as a support. Bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. And you can see it as resistance here. When it breaks below the fib, it is your resistance. When now it breaks above a fib, it is now your support. And you can see this everywhere. Resistance here, broke, came to the next fib, right here. Resistance here, this whole entire time was resistance. And when it finally broke, it ran. Now, the time frames are what matter the most. The bigger the time frame, the larger the resistance, the larger the support. And you see how it trades in a range between these two fibs this whole way through. By the way, these fibs were drawn since here on this day, on 11/22. These were future spots that can possibly be in your way or your support, and they're still holding weight. Today's December 10th. It was drawn on 11/22, and they still hold weight. So let me get into some of these questions. Okay. Now, so that would be your 2 steps for Bitcoin with the fib. What do you mean by your 2 steps? Draw from your top to your bottom? Okay, so now there's one other thing I want to get into that is very important. I don't think you could even see that. Okay, This is what we call the tape. You want to watch this tape while you're trading. You want to see how big are these buys, how big are these sells. Okay? This little bullshit 1900 is nothing. You're looking for $50,000 buys, $50,000 sells, $100,000 buys, $100,000 sells. You're looking for the bigger moves. You want to see what the big boys are doing because they're the one controlling this market. And you want to see if it's resembling the same thing within the price action, within the candles. Why are they selling? Is it at a fib? Is it at a fan? Is it the Bollinger Bands? Is it a previous all-time high? Are we at a trend line? If you start seeing people selling hundreds and thousands of dollars worth and this tape gets painted red, you clearly know there's something going on here. And maybe you should not even be in anymore. See, 171, they're painting the tape red, right? So let's see what's happening while they're doing that. Let's see what's happening. Tape went red. Let's open up a 5-minute. Okay. You're at the top of the band. This is why they're selling. You're at the upper band. You're at your resistance. Okay? They're trying to sell now because they want to get it in a little cheaper. They're also, look at this trend here, man. Like, you need to see a little pullback like this, possibly. And that most likely would happen. So that's why 319,000 sales, that's happening for a reason. Okay. So that would be your 2 steps for Bitcoin to fib. The whole cycle pattern that you had up earlier. Okay, the whole cycle pattern that I had up earlier, it will not always be the same. You have to adapt with the market. You also have to start paying attention to new patterns that might come along. Okay? So there used to be this 5-minute pattern that I seen a lot of, and I would play it constantly. But we just started a new downtrend pattern. So I had to start playing this. So this right here, right? You see this little move right here from here to here? Is this right here. You understand what I'm saying? And look what happened. The same thing that happened here is right here with the pop. Okay? So that's why I'm saying you have to identify patterns that are going on. And when you can see the pattern, it will help you trade this. Now, I'm done showing you slides. If you guys want to hop in voice with me on Discord, we could go over some questions about what we just spoke about. And if you like, I could throw it back up on the chart, or we could just talk about it. So I'm going to keep the class open for a little bit. I'd hope that you guys are comfortable enough to ask more questions. That's what this class is here for. I'm here to help you. That's what Allegiant trading is about. We want you to be able to make these plays all on your own. I don't want you to even need us other than to hop in voice and be able to be like, hey, look at my chart. And then we share opinions and we share each other's charts. That is the point of Allegiant trading.
I was gonna say, why not go over ABCD on that downtrend on those legs, the ABCD patterns that go down.
On hourly or on a 5-minute?
I don't know, what chart are you on right now?
Right now, I was on the 5-minute, but I can show you.
Yeah, it doesn't. I guess the time frame doesn't matter. I just wanted to show them that harmonic move that it does on those downtrends.
Okay, so you're talking about from this top right here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now this is called an ABCD pattern. It could be bearish or it could be bullish. Okay, where is this thing again? Here we go. So for a bearish pattern, you start from your top. That's A. This was B. Okay, B is your middle lowest. Here is C right here. Here is D. C is never higher than A, okay? And D has to always be lower than B. And usually from the A to your C is doubled in your points here with your B to your D. Okay? So it's pretty much almost double. You understand this, guys? Let me open this a little here. See? These are basically triangle patterns. It works perfectly. Now, the larger the time frame, it should always be more than like, I think, 5 candles. This is how you confirm this. Okay? So now usually, not always, but after this down pattern, you see a large spike. Let me show you. And that's your large spike. Right here. It finished the pattern. And it went up. As you can see. Now I can show you the upward pattern of this. Right? A. B. C. D. Now this is not as clean, but there's your pattern. Okay, and it usually you would draw these on large candles. You don't want to draw it on a candle this big. Okay, you don't want to do that. You want to draw it when there's a large candle. See, this started this, or you could have started actually right here with this large significant red candle right here. Okay, and that's how that goes. So is there any questions about that? Yes, you can also use A, B, C, D to project your entry and exit points. As you look through the chart, you will see A, B, C, D patterns literally everywhere. Now on that D, that was a clear indicator. All right, this downward pattern is over. And look how much, yeah, this is proof that it was over, man. Because check this out. On that D, right? Look at the wick. Here, let me show you how you guys would look at this. Look at a wick on there. Right up. This confirms you, man. Look at that volume. Look at the volume that came with that D. And by the way, on that D, it broke a fib, broke out of the lower Bollinger Band, and everybody said, it hasn't been under this fib in how long? No thanks. It's not staying here. And it popped. Got denied back at its resistance level. Right here. And continued its downtrend. So, this is money, man. Learning all this stuff, it's good. Look, when a guy comes to do construction, he's got a construction bag, and on that job, is he going to use all his tools? No, he's not going to use all his tools. But he has all his tools, so he's ready for whatever comes his way. That's the point, man. If you know all this stuff, it makes things clearer for you. It makes you understand, oh, well, you know, it's not this, but it's this. Like, it just makes trading so much easier for you, and you can be a profitable trader like this. This is what makes you profitable. Knowing stuff like this and discipline. That is the most important part. Me personally, let's say I was in a scalp. Right here, I'm gone. If I got in down here, I'm gone here. I don't care about, oh, but it might go further. I don't know that. I don't know that it's going to go further. I know that this is the price. I know that it's at 16,141 and I got in at 14.5. Pigs get slaughtered. Take what you know. You're at a fib fan that's been getting denied. How many times? Let me get out while I can. And if you didn't get out here, well, then you really regretted it on this next candle and probably panic sold when it went basically back to your entry. Because you didn't know this is going to happen, but you knew you were back to where you entered in. Instead of taking your profits right here, and then on this drop, getting a brand new fresh entry for another run. It's all about discipline. So Jordan, the pair here is BTC USD, and what I'm showing you here, this is BitMEX's chart. You can type in XBT USD perpetual swaps. Here, I'll show you. XBT USD. It is this one right here. See? Okay.
Do you want to touch on the reversal candles? Like I see a bunch here. I mean, you can just go through the chart and show them the reversal candles and the volume on those, so they can.
Okay. So, I mean, this is definitely one of them right here. This nice fat hammer, large volume, hasn't seen much. I'm not. This isn't what I consider a reversal candle. Really isn't. The only thing that makes this look really good to me is it came all the way down here and they brought it all the way up and left it green instead of red. Let's see. This should have been a reversal candle. This is a 5-minute chart, so it's not as strong, but it was pretty much a pullback candle. This is a clear indicator. We're getting some pullback. Look at the sell pressure on this candle. Look at the volume of that candle. Okay? It's coming down. Oh, that was this candle. It's coming down. And it did. And it did. Same thing here. Right here. Came down. See? Wick on the top. Solid red candle. It's decided which way it's going to go. There's no wick on the bottom. Downtrend. Do you have any others that you see that are clear? This is a clear indicator here. Oh, perfect. This is what I call a bear sandwich. Green on the outside, green on the outside, red on the inside. Bear sandwich. And look what happens with the bear sandwich. Down. You're going to see a lot of that. See, oh, here's another little bear sandwich we got going here. See this bear sandwich? Down. Bear sandwich? Down. It's just, this one's surprising. But that's why you got to play the volume and you got to play everything else. So. That's the futures candle. Yeah, well, there you go. That's a clear, see, but that's the thing, man. You got to know what's going on. Like, is futures opening up in 5 minutes? Like, so people are scared. Like, there's so many things that play into the candle that you need to have all this in your toolbox, man. Everything needs to be in your toolbox.
Yeah, you can also see like almost a triple bottom right before that big candle.
Right here? Yes. Right here. Look at this. Right? It's a little off from the triple bottom, but you have a double bottom, I'll tell you that. With this double bottom, hit twice down here, never look back. Usually with a double bottom, it runs. Now, here, they were considering most likely double tops, right? Right here, and you've seen a downtrend come in. And here's your triple top. And then a nice fat downtrend came in. If anybody has any questions about literally anything, you can hop in voice, ask me the question, or you could type the question in our Discord classroom, or you could type the question on our Twitch. And I think if you hop into the Discord voice classroom, you'll hear me live, no delay, if you want to verbally ask the question, or even type in the classroom.
Yeah, I got a question.
Shoot.
How you, when you're, I guess, setting up to get into trading, how do you decide kind of like what time length you're going to use, I guess?
Okay, so that's actually a very good question. So these are the time frames I use, right? I use the 5 minute to see what's been going on all day, right? So I could really see what the price action's like all day long. Then I use the hourly, right? So I want to see strong supports, strong resistance levels, where have we been bouncing off of, stuff like that. You know, because this shows strength or weakness because it's a larger time frame. Then because I want to look at the big picture after I look at the 5 minute of what we're doing temporarily for right now. So then I have the 4 hour that I'm going to look at. This is really going to show the real strength and the real weakness. So I look at the 5 minute, the hourly, the 4 hour, and then when I'm looking to see if we could break an all-time high and stuff like that, or where our strongest support is, I pop open that daily. And right here, see how it's out of the daily Bollinger Band? I knew, man, right here, we're coming back. We got to come back to reality. If you're out of the daily Bollinger Band, it's going to be a big move. Big move. And look how big the damn move was, you know. If you were in a trade here, you might have, you know, pooped yourself. So, and now I can see that we have the opportunity to break an all-time high. Because look at the band. It's wide open. It's pointing upwards. And if this daily closes above this fan, then we really got a good opportunity. So, those are the time frames I traded. Did that answer the question? Crypto
Yeah.
Nomo?
As far as time frames go, you shouldn't ever trade just off of one time frame. You should be opening up all of them as
Yes.
you are getting into a trade. You want to see the entire picture.
Yes. Yeah, I can't just open up this 5 minute and be like, oh, all right, like, all right, forget I didn't see the downtrend here, right? That's back there. I look at this 5 minute, I'm like, oh, all right, it looks like we're running. But why are we running? I have no idea why we're running. Well, if I opened up the hourly that I drew this trend line off of, this is why we're running. We broke a downtrend that's been going on since the 7th. You know, so you want to have the bigger picture. You don't want to only trade this 5 minute chart. And I also want to zoom out and see, well, where have we gotten denied in the past? And guess what? It's right here where we're at right now. See? Look at this candle. We've been denied here. So then I want to open up the hourly and be like, well, is this really strong resistance? Well, yeah, because we got denied here for 2 hours straight. We got denied here. And we almost got denied here. Well, pretty close on the 3rd hour here. And we were denied here. So when an hourly candle's been denied here, that's showing more strength that this is a strong resistance level. Now I'll open up a 4 hour, and we were denied here for 8 hours before. So once again, larger time frame, that's a strong resistance level. So if I had good profits right now, I'd be like, you know what? All right, it's time to get out. Let me secure these profits. We might have a pullback here. So that's how that goes. Was that good, Crypto Nomo? Cams Jams, thank you so much. I'm glad you came. You could study this recording as many times as you want because it will be on our Twitch. There's definitely plenty more classes coming up. I'll definitely be holding more classes. I'm actually going to probably hold, not sure yet if I'm going to make it just a video or I'm going to hold a BitMEX class. That might be me, DJ, and M. Dilly holding it together, sharing our opinions on how to properly trade on BitMEX.
Yeah, you answered the question. There's just a delay, so I'm like muting the video and then coming back to the chat.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I was expecting Twitch to be a lot better than what it is.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, you can see how long it took him back in the Discord chat. It's pretty long delay.
Yeah, bro. I think we're gonna stick to join me.
That's literally how long it's taken. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So you know, the next class will be live on Join Me, and the recording will be on Twitch.
Oh, I am all for a BitMEX class. I just heard that part in Twitch. Like, I'm all for it because when I first joined this Discord, that's what like DJ was going off about, and yeah, I'm totally into that.
Yeah, BitMEX is good. It's just dangerous, especially
Extremely.
for newer traders with the huge leverage. I mean, it's so easy to over leverage your position and end up blowing up your account.
Yeah, that's what's so off-putting for me is because it's like it seems like it's really easy to dig yourself into a hole if you're not coming in with your toolkit.
Yeah, yeah. And see, that's the other thing. I'm going to tell you is now, before we even get a class going. Stop the leverage trading. That's number one. You don't need it. Stop being greedy. I'm dead serious. That is number one. Cross trade. Don't put no leverage, and you should only be using 10% of your portfolio, so your liquidated price is nowhere near the price action.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with leverage, but for newer traders, it's extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. And I don't recommend anybody being on BitMEX if you are a brand new trader. I think you should be paper trading on the BitMEX testnet. BitMEX is not meant for someone without experience. That's my personal opinion. I mean, if you want to learn the hard way with not having experience, then I mean, yeah, you can use BitMEX, but it's going to cost you a few dollars while you're there.
Uh-huh.
It is going, and I'm not going to lie, I've taken losses on BitMEX, but I learn from my losses. I don't continue repeating them.
Yeah, that's why we're doing these classes also. Like we've already made these mistakes. We want you guys to learn from ours so you don't have to make it.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on trading views, simulated trading? Because I have that on my plan there. Is that like worth using as a tool to practice with?
Yeah.
I've never used it, but I mean, I'm sure it works well. I mean, TradingView is a phenomenal platform.
Yeah, I've messed around with their paper trading. I mean, it definitely works. It does what you need it to do. It'll track your trades, your entries, your exits, your profits. It does everything you need to. So if you want to use that instead, you can do that.
I'm just gonna get to Retrospect's question. He asked the thin yellow line below the 9 and the 13. He's talking about this line right here. He
I
goes,
think he's talking about the middle band.
yes. He goes, is that the BB? That is the middle band, the 20 SMA. So that is part of the Bollinger Bands, and usually the price action stays near that. And that reminds me, when the bands are getting tight, right? I got nowhere where the bands are getting tight because today's price action has been insane. But when the bands are getting tight, if the price action is above the band and above your EMAs, it's almost always going to break to the upside when the band's open. Almost always. So that's just something I've noticed from me trading and using these indicators. Now that's not a guarantee, but most of the time that's what would happen. Any other questions, guys?
What are you guys' thoughts on Vertcoin?
Oh no,
As a long-term.
I'm not gonna get into stuff like that. Only like chart questions and stuff like that. No altcoin
Yeah, keep
questions.
that stuff for the trading chat.
That's for our Discord chat for everybody to share their opinions on. We're not gonna just base this on my opinion. I just wanna do stuff about charts and stuff about what you look for in a trade and what would make you get in, what would make you get out, like stuff like that. How much do I trade with? Stuff like that.
I'd kind of like to do like a live thing where I don't know, I could like look at a chart and then be like, or what do you think this is gonna be like, or whatever.
I am going to start streaming me trading whenever I am available to do that. Okay, so there'll be times where I'll be in the middle of a trade and we can do stuff like this. You see how I drew the trend line? Like we're gonna draw trend lines together.
You know,
Cool.
and
Cool.
we could like discuss what we see on the chart together.
I appreciate you guys. This is cool. This is awesome. I really like this.
Thank you, man. I mean,
Thank you.
this is like this is what we do, and this is what we're here for. And we wanted to make somewhere where there's no trolls, there's no shillers, there's just people getting together and trying to make each other better.
I got one specific question while I got spotlight here. How do you feel about trading with API? I don't know exactly what that means, but you can trade via like TradingView, like through Bittrex.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was kind of sketchy to have like a third party have access to your account. You know, that was kind of my initial thought about it.
I'm not big
Seems
on
convenient.
I'm not big on TradingView having access to anything of mine, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
but also if you ever had your BitMEX and your TradingView open at the same time, TradingView is delayed compared to the BitMEX actual platform. So whatever you're seeing on your TradingView might, especially when it's volatile, it might be a freaking $500 move, and you didn't catch it in maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and those 4 or 5 seconds could be a large amount of money. So I don't really recommend that. Also, another thing that is delayed is Coinigy.
Yeah, well, like
APIs always have a slight delay. So I mean, you could put in an order, especially if you do a market order. I mean, if you're on there, the API for it to go to the exchange and then execute the market order. I mean, you could, if it's a fast move, I mean, you could get in a market at $500 over what it was when you put the order in.
Exactly. Yes, that's very true.
So you think I should, or what are your exchanges that you use, like Coinigy? Because you can't use Bittrex's user interface. It's just fucked.
It's trash. It's trash. I mean, no. Like if you're an altcoin guy, like for Bittrex, I use the charts here on TradingView because these might even be faster than Bittrex because Bittrex is
totally is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then on Bittrex, I just have like, you know, my orders open, or looking at the tape. I'm looking at stuff like that, and I put my buys through Bittrex. I have multiple screens, so that's why for me this is like I can do it like this.
Yeah, that's exactly how I do it too. I'll have my charts open on one, I have my chat open on the other, and then I have the exchange open on the third screen for order execution.
Right.
Cool.
I just want to get to Gut Shot's question. He goes, how did you start off? Did you just load up a bunch at once of the indicators that I'm using, or did you learn one at a time? It seems like a ton of information at once. I'm gonna be honest.
It is a lot.
It's a lot of information, man. It is. But if you're dedicated and you're determined, you read, you practice these things every day, every single day. And no, I just didn't click on a bunch of buttons, but I mean, most of the stuff I know I'm self-taught, but most of the along the way of trading, I've picked up things from other good traders. And that's the point of our room, like so that we could pick up little bits and pieces from other traders and fit it in with our personality, fit it in on what we like, fit it in with how our day goes. Like some people can't trade all day long. Some people could only trade for 2 hours. So they're not looking at, you know, holding a position for 5 hours. They're looking for a quick in and out. So they might be looking at the 1 minute chart, you know? So everything is different for everyone. These are the things that work for me. And if something works for me, I am going to share it with everyone that is in my room, in our room, because I want them to be able to have this opportunity too. You know, and I'll tell them what doesn't work for me too. I'll tell them what messes me up and stuff like that.
Yeah, but as far as learning indicators, what I did, and I think what most of us did when we were first learning, you learn one indicator and learn the strategy that goes along with trading that indicator.
Yes.
Then I wouldn't say you have to master it, but get good enough at it that it'll stay in your mind, and then move on to another one.
Yes.
You know, and after a pretty long period of time, you've gone through X amount of indicators, you figure out which ones you like more, which ones you'll keep up. You know, it's a process.
Yes. You're gonna find what works for you better, and you're gonna, as a new trader, you're gonna run through 1,000 different indicators, and after a while you're gonna be like, all right, well, I don't need these. These don't do anything for me. And then like, all right, well, this works for me. Like, I used to use PSAR. I used to use the cloud. I personally don't need the cloud no more, and I personally don't need PSAR anymore. So, that makes me write those off. And then I'll show you this if you're still looking at Twitch. I have other indicators. I don't look at these. Down here, this is the stock RSI. This is God mode. And this, I haven't even used it in so long, I don't even know the name of it anymore. So, I don't look at nothing on the bottom of my chart. I have them because I want to see what other people are looking at, but I don't use them. Not for my trades personally.
Yeah, and again, it's all preference. Like, I love my oscillators, the ones underneath. Like, I love these things, but I mean, that's just me. Yeah,
Right.
It's just my trading style.
Right. That gets back to it. It's all on you. Like, it's your personality. It's your trading style. It's what works for you. Almost all the indicators work, but does it work for your style? That's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. That's what I've been focused on.
Yeah, I mean, learning those, like the stock RSI, RSI, MACD. I mean, those are a little bit easier to learn for new guys. Oscillators are pretty straightforward. There's not too much strategy that goes into them as far as oscillators, but like if you got overlay indicators, those are the ones that have a little bit more complicated strategies to go off of. So yeah, starting out with oscillators to learn, that's pretty normal. They're easier to figure out.
Did we talk about continuation and reversal patterns? Max, bro, no, I did not. I mean, those type of patterns, I think we'll have a separate class for. I wanted to get into more basic patterns so people could get all this in, cram all this in, study this, and then maybe a month from now we could get into some more patterns in our next class. I don't want to feed too much information at once because, I mean, it took me a real long time to get to the point I'm at with the stuff I know, and I don't think it's fair to clog your brain with all that stuff at once.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta remind me, Smart, to put my class together, but I can go over that some more in mine. I'm like I said last time, I'll do oscillators and divergences, and I can throw in some reversal and continuation patterns in there as well.
Perfect. Anybody else have anything to say? If not, forever hold your peace.
So I have a question. If I'm like getting more serious about trading rather than just like here and there checking on things, like I'm checking markets like 10 times a day minimum, like on the bus, checking my phone and stuff, and I'm starting to, go out there and try and look up as much information as I can now. Should I even be using a platform like Coinbase at all, or should I be trying to push off to something more technical?
If you're trading, if you're day trading and you're not just an investor, then you should not be trading on Coinbase.
Yeah, Coinbase fees are going to kill you.
They're going to cripple you. My friend does it, and because he doesn't have a computer right now, just moved into a new apartment. Today alone, I bought him $1,000 worth of Bitcoin with my GDAX account so he could get live pricing. And by the time it got back to him, it was at like 984.
Jeez.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now imagine buying and selling all day, how much money these people are going to take from you.
Yeah, and you buy above market and you sell below market.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Anybody else? KP, thank you, Smart, for the class. Well done. Thank you, KP. I Definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much.
What's the homework for tonight?
Please, no more. It's finals week.
Oh God. All right, guys. If there's nothing else, we're gonna hop back into regular voice chat and get back to this crazy Bitcoin that futures thought was gonna drive us down, but we stood here strong. So it's up to you guys. I see Gutshot typing. I'll wait on Gutshot, and then if there's nothing else, we're gonna close this. New all-time high coming in hot. All right, that should definitely wrap up this class, guys. Thank you for coming. I'm glad all you guys showed up. I mean, it really put a huge smile on my face when I seen all you fill up this room. It shows that we got a lot of guys in here that are willing to learn and willing to work hard and want you. You guys want to do this, and that's a great feeling, and that definitely makes us as admins realize, we're doing the right thing here, and it's gonna keep us going. So thank you guys. I'm gonna shut